Implementation overview. For the Year 4-5, using visual frames to improve children's confidence and ability to access the 2-3 mark inference questions. How we set up the evaluation. The first thing we ask you to do is identify a group of target learners. You will use the What Worked Teachers platform to randomly allocate these to the intervention and the control group. You will then complete the pre-assessment task with both groups. The intervention group will have the weekly activity, and then the control group will continue as normal. And then you will complete the post-assessment task, which is the same as the pre, with both groups. If the intervention shows promise, you can then open this up to the control group. So let's look at this from a planning point of view, from a step-by-step approach. So step 1, identify a group of learners to participate in the evaluation from the same year group or class. Step 2, read through the Inference Teacher document guidance, the suggested session structure, and download the resources. If required, we do include an AI prompt to help you to create some of the resources that might be needed for the reading. And step 3, using the trial wizard on the What Worked Teachers platform, randomly assign learners to the intervention and control group. So moving on to the implementation. Step 4, complete the pre-assessment test with both the intervention and control group. Record the marks in the Excel tracker, which is located in the resource folder, and input this into the pre-test on the trial wizard. Step 5. For the intervention group of students, they will receive a weekly targeted small group intervention to use the impression evidence quote framework in a guided reading session. The control group will continue with business as usual for the duration of the trial. Step 6, complete the post-assessment test, which is the same as the pre, to both the intervention and control groups. Again, record the marks in the Excel tracker and then input this into the post-test on the trial wizard. You will then be able to complete the process evaluation survey and then click Analyze to generate an impact report for how the intervention has worked in your school. So the intervention. It targets Year 4 or Year 5 pupils. It's an intervention that's delivered by a teaching assistant in small groups, and each session will take approximately 20 minutes. It uses the impression evidence quote if needed approach. So in the guided reading sessions, use the visual frame with the children to help structure their response to the inference questions, and you will find a copy of this in the resource folder. You will also find a suggested session structure, which is for whole class or targeted intervention, which just breaks down how this could be delivered. You will also find in the resource folder the tracking spreadsheet, which allows you to link an anonymized student ID on the platform to a student in your class. Key considerations. Logistical issues need to be considered before using a targeted strategy as an intervention. So time is a suitable time for delivery in the school day. It's about 20-minute intervention. Location is a suitable location, such as the classroom or library. Resources, make sure you have the visual template to use in your weekly sessions. And then rewards, will you potentially link to any rewards for completing the intervention? And logistical barriers are common in any intervention that's delivered in schools, so it's just important to consider these prior to starting. So the assessment. The pre-assessment. In the resource folder, you will find the assessment task, which is marked out at 15. Please record the score for each learner in the Excel tracker and input this into the What Worked Teachers platform. And then for the post-assessment, the same assessment is used to retest to help measure the impact of the intervention. Again, just please record the score for each learner into the Excel tracker and input this into the What Worked Teachers platform. So just assessment guidance, please complete this under test conditions. It can be completed by a teacher or teaching assistant. Make sure you print the assessment task and then just record the pre and post assessment scores onto your tracking spreadsheet and the platform. So that's the end of the implementation guidance. You can now move on to downloading the research protocol and the resource folder.